Welcome back. We're continuing with Vagrus. Last time we got to Avernum after rescuing Sergei? Is that his name? Sidarius. I'm way off. Sidarius, the Black Knight. He was attacked by a bunch of undead. We saved him. He came along with us, but then a deep separated us from us when we got to the city so that he could sneak in because he suspects that people in the city are trying to kill him, and he hired in quotes, he's forcing us, but that's besides the point, to help him investigate these people. We also bought some stuff, sold our hides and ivory, bought a bone necklace, bought a jade figure, and this necklace accessory, whatever. Then we also leveled up our characters. Another better, yeah. She's maxed out. He still has a bit to go. I think we were aiming for getting our promotion up. I think. I'm just trying to remember. Yeah, because if we upgrade this to 3 stars, then we can do all. But I don't think we can get that, so I wanted to this because this boosts our stats even more. And that's mainly what he does if he's not going to be killing. That's why we boosted perceptive and strong-minded. Because, yeah, next thing we need is prowess to do that. Whereas this needs prowess 4, so there's no way we can get this because we can only get prowess 3. Yep, okay. Other than that, we tried leaving, got told that we would be cursed if we left before investigating the murders. So, yeah, that's it. I think that's it. Pretty sure that's it. I don't know. We'll continue anyhow. It didn't save, so I had to redo a bunch of stuff, but I don't remember. I don't know if I got all of it, but I'm pretty sure. Select 4. Did we do the temple last time? I forget. I think we came here and then left. Oh, we could deliver the belongings. Okay, cool. So the temple complex of Surgorod in Avernum is quite small compared to most imperial cities, but still a menacing sight to behold, built of dark stone, clearly not from around this place. Trying to see if it's in the photo. That's the only one that's dark stone. I mean, the walls are also dark stone, but I'm assuming it's this one. The buildings are covered with spikes and blades to reach towards the ashen skies. It's still not clear. Furious-looking gargoyles, as well as sculptures of Surgorod in the form of a powerful warrior in spiked armor, riddle the frontispiece. Is it you? No, it can't be. They grow mushrooms. I don't think it's in the photo, I guess. Yeah. Inside, darkness covers all and only red candles provide meager light. Novices chant in shadowed alcoves, their grumbling voices adding up to a constant angry prayer. A priest steps out of the pitch black and stops you. His painted face in black attire gives you the shivers. What is it, you ask of Surgorod, the Raging One, Lord of Vengeance and Master of Curses? A modest contribution to the church, and you shall receive the power of retribution. How much is modest? 70? No, I'm good. Grant you powers in return of a sacrifice. I'm not killing a mount. Curse your enemies from the... No, we'll deliver. We're not going to rat him out. Deliver the belongings of Sidarius's dead companions. Would you give up all the looted weapons and armor, or only the holy symbols and personal belongings? We can give all the priests all the belongings, or give them the holy symbols only. He said we only had to give the holy symbols and not to deliver the weapons and armor, because that would look suspicious. So we'll do that. The priests growl a short blessing and assure you that Sir Gorod will not forget you returning the belongings of his lost servants. You thank them before leaving. Okay. Granted. In favor in return for serving him. No, I think I'd leave. I don't want to deal with becoming a puppet to a god we barely know. At the moment, at least. Fisky. Visit the sorcerer. Let's talk to the sorcerer. The Tower of Incanus. The sorcerer stands at the border of the hill, overlooking the streets and alleys filled with foundries and forges on the northeast side of Avernum. Half engulfed in smog, the tower stands much taller than any building nearby. The soot-covered walls, made of black stone, are so smooth that it looks almost seamless. A line of gigantic fang-like spikes crown the flat top of the tower. Okay, that's this one then, definitely. You walk up to the iron gate where a large eye carved out of obsidian comes alive and gives you a good stare before emitting a strange moan and becoming motionless again. The gates open slowly to reveal a spacious antechamber that you enter. Yeah, it's got to be antechamber. Antechamber? Whatever. The roof is supported by black, smooth stone pillars. Magical lights float sleepily around like fireflies. There are sofas and chairs here, each to seat a dozen guests in great comfort. Somehow, the place feels odd. It is many times larger on the inside than it should be judged from the outside. It should be judging from the outside. The posing figure of Incanus stands motionless in the center of the antechamber and greets you in a monotone voice. You can't figure out if he's bored or simply lacks emotion in general, but he's courteous and very perceptive. You can only feel his piercing gaze from under the large hood of his crimson robes. There is something on your mind, Vagrus, something you hope I'll provide a solution for, and you know that it'll have a price, he drawls. Tell him that you tell me what you can about the last pilgrimage. 10. It's a collector of rarities and curiosities. Perhaps he's interested in one of your items. Pay him to identify something interesting. Incanus can identify magical objects for you for a small fee. If you have some such items, now is the time to show him them. You don't have any to identify. Never mind. He's a collector of rarities and curiosity. Maybe he's interested in one of your items. Incanus examines the items you brought him with great care, but without uttering a word. He offers a price for each of them that piques his interest. Jade figure. Oh, that's a bit. That's 420? Yeah, that's 10. Not worth it. Large crystals worth a lot. Dwarven compass is worth a ton. Looking glass, amulet of protection, dragon egg, demon helm. I forget what our jade figure goes for. Can I just leave? You don't want to sell anything right now. Yeah. Can we... Is there... Tasks. Yeah, I know. Qualities. Okay. No. Oh, I can make notes. Interesting. But that's not what I want. Okay. How do I exit this? Oh. Completed? Active. Yeah. No, I want... Was there not anything about my inventory? No. Okay. Okay, well... That he can just buy, which is fine, but I want to know about the Lost Pilgrimage anyhow, so... Yeah. Sorcerer hesitates only a little before motioning his long-fingered hand for you to sit down. You comply. Something tells me you've had an encounter with the cavalcade, interesting word, of spirits. Tell me about it, he says after he pockets your coins and sits down himself. You carefully recite your chance meeting with the last pilgrimage. Every now and then, Incanas interrupts you to ask very specific questions about your experiences with the specters. He seems especially interested in your visions that triggered when the undead procession was near. Incanas stays silent and motionless for a long time after you finish telling the story. At length, he stirs and asks you in a rasping voice, "What is it exactly you'd like to know? What is the last pilgrimage? How did it come to be?" This pilgrimage was initiated just before the calamity, according to legend. They say that weeks of odd and deadly omens preceded the catastrophe itself. Rain of blood, purple skies, weird apparitions, visitations from the dead, that kind of phenomenon. Initially, less in frequency and intensity, the omens were taken as divine warnings by all. However, the interpretation of these signs differed vastly. One group of high priests believed that the elder gods sent these because Imperials strayed from the right path somehow, that they incited their wrath and the gods had to be appeased. Thus, they converged in the north, either at Tohat, or in Mortacopolis. Nobody knows for certain, and they gathered a vast procession of followers and lesser clergymen around them. The priests then announced that in order to earn the forgiveness of gods, they were to walk to the capital and pray along the way. They cast down all their rich garments and trinkets and set out, barefoot, full of hope. Incanas holds a dramatic pause. Yet, their hopes and prayers are in vain, as the pilgrimage gained followers by the thousands. While they proceeded south along the Emperor's Road, the calamity struck. Most of the pilgrims died in agony as the cursed winds tore their flesh off their bones and rived their souls. But the priests endured. I do not say lived on purpose. Twisted and reanimated by the dark power of the cataclysm, they rose again as undead abominations and continued their journey. Only now they appeared and disappeared without any discernible logic, and move in strange angles as a ghastly procession of specters. They are doomed to wander forever, never reaching their goal. never not gold. Never resting, never knowing peace, and never gaining the forgiveness of the gods because those gods are dead and gone. You shudder under the sorcerer's gaze. What else would you like to know? Asked Incanas. What happens after they run into someone? Now that they are cursed to wander the wasteland eternally, yeah. They appear suddenly and disappear shortly after. Most of the time, no one knows where they are. And when they appear and come into contact, with someone, that person is gone forever. Therefore, a clear account of such a meeting is non-existent. One theory suggests that such unfortunate individuals are assimilated into the pilgrimage and wander as disembodied spirits, walking the same eerie path as the tormented souls of the original pilgrims. Others suggest that the cavalcade sustains itself by drawing on the life essence of its victims. Nothing of them is ever found afterwards. How do we know this? Sometimes people are able to observe such encounters from a safe distance. The last pilgrimage was known to have destroyed a fairly large comitati, so they did not only attack small groups or individuals. Naturally, the number of these victims is vastly overstated. There are studies of these beings, studies that collected all the reports of their appearances throughout the centuries following the calamity. It seems that they never ever appeared south of the Twin Towers, which they failed to reach while alive. It is quite clear that given the short time between encounters at distant locations, the last pilgrimage travels via magical means. The most popular notion is some form of teleportation, because nobody has ever encountered them in the outer realms. However, they do have the tendency to haunt a specific region or area with a while before moving on. Incanas leans back in his chair and folds his hands. However, there never was anyone who met the pilgrimage twice as closely and lived. I find that extraordinary. Okay, is the Elder Realms an area or like a dimension? Dimension. Yeah, I was wondering that. The Outer Realms are the infinite dimensions that were formed in the creation of the universe and serve as a foundation for reality. These dimensions are the home of the elder gods and their hosts of proxies prior to the calamity. The individual worlds, or realms as they are called, are connected by the outer realms. And although travel is possible normally, for the most part, the vast distance necessitate the use of gates, portals one can pass through to get somewhere instantly. The outer realms were created at the dawn of time by the gods, according to some religions, or coming into being by themselves. Some sages even suggest that they were formed gradually as intricate conduits between mortals and gods slowly filled the universe with an extended reality. Whatever the case, the outer realms are so unimaginably vast that nobody, not even the gods of present day, have seen it all. In its focal point lies the well of all, which is the source of all creation according to imperial religion. However, it was obscured by the elder gods long before their departure, and thus no new realms or beings can be created. The most prominent landmark of the outer realms are Mount Zion or Jin, could be Jin. X has a lot in the letters. or a lot of sounds associated with. We'll go Zin. And the Bits, the former being the abandoned and haunted seat of the elder gods, while the other is the prison of Omkyo, father of all demons, who is chained at the bottom of the endless void. Tartarus. The underworld is also part of the outer realms, containing parts of the great void that is called the Abyss. The Damned, the great army of the demon princes, has reclaimed most of this accursed pit and uses it as a staging ground to invade some of the outer realms. Indeed, apart from abandoned reaches and some still standing forts like Kerad Rihun, most of the elder realms have been decimated by the onslaught of demonkind, so travel through it has been perilous in recent millennia. During the calamity, the continent of Zirin, I wonder if that's connected to Zien, has suffered such immense arcane damage that the boundaries between the Riven realms, that's where we are, that's our realm, that's our planet, whatever, and the Elder realms broke in numerous places, and thus hundreds, if not thousands, of unstable but permanent gates were created, often obscured by local anomalous activities. Thus, many beings normally kept out of Zirin by the rules set down by the elder gods eons ago could now enter through these cracks and make a new home in the Riven realms. This is the main reason for the existence of demonkin and outright demons in the Riven realms, as well as for the presence of some realm walker races, such as the Kalrish, the Ugres, or the Ithil? Probably Ithil. The explored gates were subsequently used to create fast ways to travel over vast distances. Many of these are owned by powerful sorcerers or the Emperor itself. That's very interesting. For like a world building thing where it's just like where was this? There was a part here. Continent of Zirin has suffered such immense arcane damage that the boundaries between the Riven realms and the outer realms broke in numerous places. So our continent itself, I think that's what it's saying. Show me this. That's this continent, right? Is there actually a name for it? Let me look this up. Exern, where are you? Come back here. Exern. What? Am I spelling wrong? Where was it? I lost it. Oh, it's YN. The Empire. No, I want the place. Last pilgrimage. I think this is the, because this states, where was this? Here. A group of high-ranking priests of the pantheon of the Elder Guards started to see a pattern in the strange phenomenon that began to appear sporadically all over Zirin. So I'm guessing this is Zirin. But our world itself, like the planet, other than I don't know if it counts as a planet, is the River Realms. But anyhow, so like, because the Empire of old, not the current one. Because I think there is currently I think it's called the old ones are called the Imperials. Anyhow, they annoyed the gods so much. They were blotted out so badly that it broke a hole through reality and started touching on where or started making holes in the fabric that allowed portals to be created, or I guess portals were just naturally created, holes essentially, I guess, to touch on where the gods lived, and then the gods just left somewhere. Like that was a whole thing with the calamity, right? The gods just... How do I close this? Finding the exits in this game or to close stuff is painful. Best described as an arcane cataclysm of inconceivable proportions, this event demolished life and society of the continent of Zirn in a matter of days. Yeah. So yeah, oh no, the Empire is the old one. The Imperials are the new one, I guess. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. Anyhow, yeah, the Elder Gods got so annoyed that they just blotted out the place and then left. Came to their senses, but when they saw what they had done, they had broken grief and left this reality. Okay, so it's not even breaking a hole in reality. It's breaking a hole in time, space, essentially. Or whatever. And it's creating, like, essentially wormholes into another dimension. But the gods left this entire reality. Interesting. Okay, cool. Anyhow, however, then I've been twice. Cool. Even though it's cold in here, you're sweating. What else would you like to know? Said in Canas. Is it possible that they are following me? That is the question, isn't it? And Canas scratches his scrawny beard with skeletal fingers. All information collected by the wise throughout the centuries, as well as anecdotal accounts, tell us that the appearance of the pilgrimage is completely random, and there has never been anyone recorded who counted them twice. Not even madmen who were looking for them. So when you told me about the 2 times you've met the pilgrims, I was skeptical, yet I can see that you are telling the truth. The sorcerer clears his throat. There are 2 possibilities, I believe. 1, it was indeed chance, however minuscule, that you happened upon them a second time. The chances of a third encounter are negligible. 2, they were roaming a specific region, in this case, Arenas Negras, and because there is practically nobody in the region, they converge on the only living beings nearby, your comitatus. In any case, I'd avoid the desert of black sands and its border regions for a while if I were you, and thank the gods for surviving 2 such chance encounters. You are not planning to visit this dreadful place anyways. Can they be defeated somehow? Let me answer your question with a question. And Canas leans forward. If it was possible, why do you think no one has ever managed to do so? That's a bad question. Could be a lot of reasons. What could my visions mean? No account of an encounter with the pilgrimage that I can recall speaks of visions, only apparitions and eerie lights. Yours, and that of your companions, seems to be a unique reaction. I wonder if it has anything to do with your telepathic companion. The sorcerer glances at Javik, who is standing a few yards away, leaning on a pillar. Unlikely, your friend says, frowning. Our second encounter with these beings, I was busy holding our beasts of burden from running away with my mind, so I did not see any visions at all. How would it be connected to me if I was the only one not to see anything? I concur. Incanus nods and turns back to you. Unfortunately, dreams, visions, and phantasms? Sure. Are not my area of expertise. I suggest you seek out an one-eye-mancer. Oniriomancer? Sure. Or a shaman, perhaps. The Sadara tribes to the south and west have shamans who are said to communicate with the elements and spirits of the world. It may be that such a person could tell you more. Perhaps it would be wise to seek them out. What else would you like to know? Says Incanus. That is all. You thank Incanus for his help. Oh, good. 5 incitement. Nice. Looks at you attentively. Was there anything else? Leave for now. Okay. That's that. Chart location revealed. Where's the Twin Towers? What? Why does it say you found a location and then just doesn't show it? That's annoying. Is that here? No. They said it didn't go south of the Twin Towers. Is it over here then? How far is the Twin Towers? Free cities. So how zoomed in do I have to be is the other question. I don't know. It's somewhere. Okay, how far do I have to zoom in to get the scrap heap about there? Oh, okay, that does illuminate a lot more. Ash is there. Tohot is there. They were going south to get to the vortex. I don't know. It's somewhere. Okay, so we've done that. Temple of Ashkel. Oh, that's the one that we went into. Yeah, that's right. Foundry, fighting pit. I don't think I want to do a fighting pit. I feel like I should sell that thing. The jade figure could fetch quite a price. But then the question is, like, what does that mean? Because, like, I don't know, bones or bronze is, I feel like 2 is still cheap, or 200 is still too cheap. Do I want to go to the fighting pits? What are my companions like? Do vitality 6 and 1. No, we're not doing that. Never mind. I guess we do investigate. You decide to follow up on one of the leads given to you by Sidarius. Which one will you choose? Oh, actually, I wanted to grab rumors. Now that I think about it, I wanted to buy these because we do have money. Bounties of Fire. Avernum offers goods the Sidari need. Asking the right person over at the market reveals that the tribe dwelling in Oasis in the south of Avernum values metal greatly. Iron, copper, tin, silver, all exports of the city. Perhaps there is some profit to be made. Okay. That's good. Hidden outposts is something to be had. According to the locals, there's a fairly hidden trading post out in the flats about 2 days almost due southeast of Avernum, run by some trading house. There might be a business opportunity there, though a lone wanderer claims that they have some trouble brewing an outpost. Okay. Savages. They are said to live nearby. People talk about savages living in 2 tribal settlements, one in the south and another one further west of Avernum. These people worship the elements, and their shamans are said to be able to heal the most terrible wounds. They're called the Sidara. And bounties, why there's so many. Oh, we also grabbed local news last time. I just forgot about doing it. There's talk of a bunch of bounties put out by the Avernum's administrators on targets ranging from wild beasts to runaway gladiators. You should visit the Slag Fort if you want to earn some coins working as a bounty hunter. The bounty office there will have all the information you need. Oh, okay. Cool. We can do that then. Or do we... No, well, we were doing the investigation. Might as well progress it. We can go to the Slag Fort to spy on Assistant Magistrate Geludis Darrow. Sure, whatever his name is. To your mild amusement, the plan of Sidarius comes up with to lure in the Assistant Magistrate works. Upon arriving to the Slag Fort, you tell one of the clerk's slaves in service of the courts that you have news about some Sorgorod followers you think were killed in the north. The slave asks you to wait until he reports this to one of his administrators before you can sit down with said bureaucrat. A clerk arrives to tell you that the assistant magistrate, Dario, will personally listen to your account. You are escorted to the offices on the top floor of the courts. You are told to knock and enter. Javrik looks at you knowingly as you stand before the office door. Morwen is picking at her nails. You knock and enter. You found yourself inside a spacious office with small slit windows looking out onto the courtyard of the Slag Fort. There's a desk here with scrolls stacked up on one side and few opened ones lying in the middle. Maps of the region are on the walls, and rows of shelves hold even more scrolls. A clerk slave busies herself with organizing these. A middle-aged man with warm smile rises from the chair at the desk. He has dark eyes and a receding hairline. Over his orange tunic is a sash of his office, blue and purple, with a silver clasp holding at his shoulder. He introduces himself as Gelidus Dario. My subordinates tell me you have news of a group of Sigorodites. We are waiting a cohort of such concentration back at the city, but we're beginning to be worried that something happened to them, and as they are late, perhaps you might have heard of them. Tell them that you did not know about this cohort of his. Sure. Odd that you came here right away without gathering news in the city first. I would have thought a Vagrus, such as yourself, is well informed, but well. I'm sure your patriotism got the better of you, because if I understand correctly, you are about to tell me bad news. He gestures towards a chair for you to sit down on. You do as Javrik and Morwen stands behind you. Now No, we're not going to rat him out. Tell him of the fake stories Sidarius concocted. Just start at the beginning. You clear your throat before starting. My comitatus was traveling from Scrap Heap south along the Mount of Molten Tongue. We came around the Voiceless Lake. Started hearing noise of battle. We approached and found dead bodies lying everywhere. My scouts returned with news of dead bodies to the east of us. I decided to investigate carefully. We saw some undead to the east scrambling back and forth. We got rid of them right away, only to find bodies nearby. That seems more correct. Because otherwise, this one is like, what else is there? Same with that one, so this one makes sense. Go on, says Dario, scratching his chin thoughtfully. We checked the bodies. There was a lot of undead, mostly the smoldering variant. Because, of course, you know, different types of undead is common. It was clear that there was a great battle there. The other bodies all belonged to the same group. They were all Surgorite, Surgorodites, and their armied followers. A handful of them badly mutilated by the undead. We checked and found no survivors. We took some weapons and whatever valuables we could find on them. Understandable, there might be a great value and you are a businessman. Your report now makes it up for what you took. Vagrus. You carry on with the report. You conclude the story by telling him that you have not come across any undead or Siguradites, living or dead, on your journey here. What? Oh, from there. Did you see a knight among the bodies, perhaps? Tall fellow, blonde hair, broad shoulders, dark armor, and quite an exquisite helmet. Fights with greatsword. Darrow asks after a brief pause. You tell him you did not find anyone among the bodies matching the description, even though you checked them fairly thoroughly. The assistant magistrate thanks you and promises to bring the report before the high-ups in the city, should they decide to further question you. They'll all find you at your breath? Okay, take your leave. Long after you've left the Slag Fort, Javik tells you that the plan has worked. I read his thoughts on the matter. It is clear that he knows much about the setting of the trap. He got really upset when you told him Sidarius might be alive and well. He thought about his career and the prefect. But also to report this to someone named Hanvius as soon as he can. You return to Mancio. Okay, can we continue? You decide to follow up on one of the leagues. Which one? You can only pursue one of the 3 investigations per day. But we can probably go to Sidarius's hideout. And we can ask him to pay for our gate fees. I don't know if I did this last time, but we can try. Success. You rolled 8 out of 100, equal to the or below the test difficulty value of 47. The Black Knight looks at you in a way that makes you think he'll strike you, but then he frowns. That would be an honorable thing indeed. He mutters to himself and reaches into a drawer, produces a leather pouch and tosses it to you. It's more than enough, I suppose. Consider us even. You only take the coins that you need. Sidarius looks astonished when you hand him back the rest of the coins. I may have misjudged you, Vagrus. Zagorod will not forget your loyalty. You nod and pocket the coins. Did we get... Yo, it's increased? You served Zagorod well in some way. Nice. So it's probably increasing, I think. Narbo's secret. Okay. Ask him about past. Okay, never mind. We can't report to him. Okay. Done that. I guess Slag Fort then? Yeah. The mighty Slag Fort is the headquarters of the city guard, the Avernus Legion, and the prefects himself. Prefectus. Sorry, give me 1 sec. The fort overlooks the city from atop a hill on the south side, its main tower looming threateningly above the streets close by. Made entirely of the same kind of dark stone, the Slag Fort is completely black now thanks to the layers of soot that covers its surface. There's only one black building. Okay, but whatever. Scrutinized briefly by the grim legionnaires at the gate, you enter the courtyard of the fort, which houses the few institutions the public can visit. The office of the guard, the courts, and the bounty offices. I want to go to the bounty offices, because otherwise it's just reporting. The bounty office is housed in a small, dilapidated building behind the courts. A group of unsavory types is awaiting in front of it to be called in. Bounty hunters, mean-looking trophies, and the cruel weapons hanging from their belts. You wait in line to speak to the general bounty officer and get in after a quarter of an hour. A diminutive, bespectacled man, the bureaucrat, gives you a boring speech on the bounties that are available. You figure there's no point in competing with the local hunters for city bounties, but ones in the Wasteland are your turf. There's a bounty for an especially large Hakra bounty of a pesky outlaw chieftain. Undead we'll do undead or outlaw chieftain. I wonder what draws men to the life of an outlaw. Take Corvus, like the I guess it's probably not spelt the same, but the dude from what's that game? There's two of them. It's a stealth game. I don't remember what it's called, but I'm sure somebody does. Not coming to my head in the moment. He was a fine gladiator with a great reputation. What a dashing fellow, I thought. What decapitations. And what does he do? He runs away with a bunch of gladiators and lowly slaves to live out there in a searing heat of the desert, preying on honest civilians such as yourself. It truly escapes me how it's better than here. But he can't teach his kind, I suppose. He's just a Sharduk. Sharduk are a culture of humans who managed to adapt to the cruel deserts of the East after invading Zuran just before the calamity. Sharduk typically have gray eyes, suntan skin, which was originally quite fair. Oh, interesting. And light hair, blonde or brown. And they're well built and extremely hardy. Okay. And as much as we adore him in the arena, sands outside the arena shall run red with his blood for his crimes, and you shall be his executioner. Bring his head back intact, though the office will perhaps want to keep it around. Yes. You undertake the bounty. The bounty office is housed... Oh, I can take all of them. Okay, we'll do that. Appears that there's an overgrown monster that leads its lesser kin against travelers and outposts in the desert south of here. Who knew Jahakras can figure out social hierarchies of all things. Yet we cannot let this miraculous evolution continue, and thus you should bring back the creature's head. Be weary that its little posse might be quite numerous by now. Okay, that's fine. Roaming undead. Undead. Silly expression. Should it not be unlive? Sorceresses, reanimation or not, they are corpses, no more. Not enough of sematics. Somatics. There's a particularly nasty creature that roams the southern edge of the Molten Tongue and attacks on sight. It has caused some grief among travelers who run afoul with it. The Utvorar can't or won't do anything about it. So it's up to us again to set things right. That creature belongs under the earth, so put it back there and bring back some part of it to show me that the deed is done. Oh, and one more thing. It has a silly tendency to draw other unlive to itself, so it will probably not be alone. Unlive? Yes, I'm going to use it from now on. You undertake the bounty hunt. And we leave. Cool. So now we have bounties to do. We can't do any of them, but like, guess we can't leave the place at the moment, but we'll do them after. This is still the tutorial, by the way. This isn't even the main game yet. We haven't got there yet. Go to the fighting pit. Sure. Like, worst case, we just look in. This isn't a real there isn't a real arena of Avernum, but no imperial city could be imagined without at least a fighting pit. The one in the city is fairly large. However, recently it has not seen a lot of fights in spite of public demand. You learn that no Lanista owners and trainers of gladiators. Oh, cool. Favor the place since a gladiator revolt a few months ago back. Oh, that's the bounty that we have. Interesting. Which left dozens dead and most pit fighters gone. Since then, the pit has been used for public executions only. This is about to change, however, as a new man in charge wants to see the place rise again. This might even give you an opportunity to have your companions fight in the pit, as they are giving the chance to anyone right now. See that the Metacross. It might be beneficial to your own crew. The fat Metacross? Is that a medic? Professional healer. Okay, yeah. She greets you. The fat Metacross greets you with a smile. She's quite a disgusting creature, but they say she's really good at what she does. Patching up pit fighters with wounds that by all rights should kill them. The Metacross has a lot of spare medical supplies, since there's been only a few fights and she's willing to part with them. Okay, so we can purchase 1 or 5. 5 for 8. Which is what, 16 a piece? Same. Okay, we don't get a deal. Okay, cool. We're not gonna bet. We're not gonna fight. We can't explore more. So the only thing left is to enter the Temple of Ashkul. The Temple of Ashkul, King of the Underworld. It's a small one, but the necropolis around it makes up for makes up for that in size. The whole district is quiet and looks almost deserted, yet the utter silence of the temple grounds really astonishes you. Glum-looking novices in gray tunics work without a word. Robed priests whisper to each other in alcoves and in corridors. Reanimated undead shuffle towards some unsaid task. The inside of the temple looks like a crypt, too, with many wall slots for bones. Even the depiction of the god of death itself is a standing stone sarcophagus, inside which is a statue of a giant robed skeleton. Yet, for all the gloominess of the worshippers of Ashgal tend to the dead and dying with great care, and are surprisingly open to questions and requests from visitors such as yourself. Okay, we can ask the priest about the bones in the city walls. You walk up to the priest and ask him about the bones embedded in the city walls. Are they maintained by the followers of the god of death, seeing how they are the remains of some long dead beings? In Ashgal, is Ashgal not angry because these bones are not put to rest? The expression of the face of the robed priest is inscrutable as he begins to talk in a monotone, calm voice. The great king is not offended because not only do we tend to the bones, but they are considered to be resting. You see, these bones are brought here from the plains of bone. The plains of bone? Plains of Bone is a rocky desert region of gray and beige sands and large piles of bones south of the jagged waste, and southeast of the searing plains. Many creatures of the surrounding regions come here to die, as the place has a morbid look and reputation. Oh, interesting. Okay. Where they were lying for who knows how long, unattended, forgotten. Now they have a purpose. The remains adorn and empower our walls. They might not be interred or boned, or burned, not boned, to ash, but were given proper ritual, and the great king gave permission for their use. It is no different from the way we use the corpses of those who give permission, and those who, well, of the enemies of the empire. Necromancy was used to strengthen the bones too, and grim surprises await those who would be foolish enough to scale or attack these walls. You thank the priest for the explanation. Ask them about Ashkol. You ask a friendly death priest to tell you about the king of the underworld. They are quite used to these requests, as he immediately shifts into a lecturing register. Ashkol is a god of death, king of the underworld, who we call Great King, for he is the greatest king and ruler of greatest of kings and rulers, ultimately ruling over all monarchs in death, except perhaps the emperor, who is thought deathless. That's good to know. The elder god of death was Tanit? I guess Tanit, who disappeared along with his pantheon after the calamity. Ashkol appeared and took over Tartarus, the afterlife realm, where the souls of many mortals go after death. The great king is thought to be the first of the dead, because he is said to have died before any other beings in creation. He has thus unmatched power over those that die, but Ashkol is not an angry or evil god. No, he is a caretaker of souls and the ones that gives peace to mortals after they die. Our duty is to administer the proper rituals, ensure that everyone gets their deserved respect upon leaving the world. You thank the priest for the explanation. Buy some trinkets blessed by the god of death. Visit the great ossuary? Sure. Great ossuary is a system of labyrinthine tunnels and great dark holes carved into the earth and rock beneath the necropolis. Many of the more wealthy are interred here. It must be a way of... I'm not sure what the word interred means. Interred? Either way. I'm assuming it means buried or something along those lines. Anyhow. As it is believed that they are closer to Tartarus and Ashkel this way. Most of the ossuary is off limits, but a large section can be visited by the public. You walk through vast halls lit by 1,000 candles and filled with the remains of tens of thousands. Most of their bones are carefully placed in racks built into the walls on intricately carved stone slabs. Novices tend to the more recent or the old ones. The halls are kept very clean and the air is cool inside. You find yourself sitting on stone benches and walking aimlessly, reading long inscriptions of names and deeds carved into the arches that lead to private crypts. The whole place makes you calm and contemplative. Okay. Its effects are felt long after you left. Cool. Buy something that you could use against an undead abomination. We don't have a bone charm, so I guess we could do this. The small group of priests you end up talking to about the ravenous undead abomination that haunts the region seems very worried. Undead are cause for concern when not controlled by the priests of Ashkel or licensed imperial necromancers at least. So they quickly come up with a way to aid you in the quest. Even though rampant undead are fairly common, and you get the feeling that they have long given up on trying to deal with all of them. The solution is a bone charm, specifically enchanted by one to disrupt uncontrolled undead in the vicinity for a few minutes, long enough for you to deal with it. For a small contribution to the clergy, you can get the charm and the command word to activate it. How much is small? Ooh, that is small. Yeah, we'll buy that. 6. Okay. What about trinkets? You are directed by novices to a candlelit chamber where a very old priest is sitting at a stone table, carving intricate designs into candles of different colors. The old priest looks up at you and gasps upon seeing that his eyes are upon seeing that his eyes are shown shut. He smiles a toothless smile and tells you that you can buy all kinds of candles from him to honor the dead. When you tell him you'd rather buy something that aids the living, he reaches into one of the clay jugs here containing his stacks of candles and puts a black one on the table. It's carved into the form of a robed and hooded skeleton. This is a candle that was blessed by the great king. For one shiver, it may protect someone if lit. Candle of the Dead, plus 10 bleed resistance, plus 10 magic resistance. Black candles carved to look like a hooded skeleton, blessed by the priests of Ashkel, god of the underworld. When lit, it protects the bearer from harmful magic. Plus 1 die hard. I don't know what die hard is, but I mean 46? I think it's worth. Not worse. Okay, leave. I think that's all we can do. Let's equip actually no. You probably need it more. You get hit more. What does death... What was it? Die hard? Die hard. What does die hard do? Die hard. Do we have it here? Work summary. No. Nope. Nope. Okay. We have 9 insight again, so we could do stuff with that. Oh, die hard. There we go. When you are down, you have a 30% chance to immediately get back up. Oh, yeah. That's the one that we were trying to get, but like it requires... I don't know what it requires. I guess nothing, but we just didn't have enough points, or it wasn't worth it. Should we upgrade Javik? No. Because we do have 9 insight. It would cost 5? Yeah, might as well. What do we want to go for? We want to go for you. Definitely. And then we have 10 left over. We can't do that. I could do that. Skill power costs are lowered by 1. Is good. Now we'd only need that, and then I could boost another skill, like navigation or skulker. Or do we not do that? Instead do... Is there any of the other ones that I can get? Oh, I can get durable skill, spells, but that's not great. Resolute and dexterous, 3. Yeah, but I can't get that. I can't get more religion. So yeah, it would just be navigator, essentially. We can do that, I guess. What was it? Savvy, channeling. Now, did we do skulker or navigation? Scouting base chance. Yeah, we tend to do that more, I think. Cool. We'll do that. And then we can upgrade ourselves at this point. What do we want to go to, though? Do we just increase resourcefulness? Oh, no, we can't. That costs so much. We can't even increase authority. We can increase, like, alchemy or something. We had history, right? No, we were doing history, which we could do. And then do, like, do these require anything? Just for resourcefulness, which is that. Yeah, okay. Beast lore, I guess. More hunting. Yeah. Oh, hunting chance, not scouting chance. Oh, well, that's fine. Or did we just wait? I say, actually, we probably should just wait and boost history even more. And then get into those, I guess, maybe. But they cost a lot. So, that's fine. For now. Like, that's fine. That's all we can do today. And we're also over an hour and my throat's dying. So I'm going to rest. This will save the game. And then we can continue next time. Okay. Do we pay now? We can't pay now. It's way over what we have. Okay. Well, that's sucks to be them. Odd jobs. Oh, interesting. Send out your workers to earn some coins working odd jobs. They might return with additional goods. Decent earning on decent success. Might lose worker morale at critical failure. Oh, it's 3%. 0 to 680, which is more than a daily upkeep. And it's not like we're costing us much. Okay. Telegal supplies. No. No. I don't want to do this. Relaxation. Okay. Could boost relaxation. What does this cost? Ah, yeah, no. That costs way too much. Your rations is probably cheaper. You have 190. Okay, we'll keep with this. We don't have a lot of money, so success 54. That's good. And we healed. Good. Game saved. Okay, ending now. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time. Bye.